Hey guys, RMP here from bullpupforum.com. Get asked a lot about safety, so we thought we'd go into a fairly new safety on the market for the Tavor, and a little different approach to the safety. Actually, an old approach brought to a new rifle. So first and foremost, let's start. We have a safe firearm here. As you can see, the factory chamber flag is in the firearm. It's been pre-checked. We're going to be dealing with the safety today, so shouldn't really be around the trigger at all anyway. That said, as you can see, the firearm, the Tavor, comes with an indicator on one side and a lever on the other. Those, of course, can be swapped back and forth if you're left-handed, right-handed, and they work fairly well. Problem is when you get or you want ambidextrous, or you want the lever to be out of the way of the pistol grip, there's not many options on the market. So we've got a new product from Percival Armaments that is an L-shaped, and they call it the L Selector, but it is an L-shaped safety. And from that, when it's in the fire position, it's out of the way of the pistol grip. It also creates a shelf, for lack of a better term, for your thumb to ride on, similar to the 1911. You 1911 guys out there, I personally am one. I ride my thumb on my 1911. It forces the firearm into the fire position. It also forces you into a very high grip because you're going to have to ride that thumb, and so your grip is very repeatable, very high, and of course forces the firearm, keeps it in the fire position, which is where you want it in a firefight. You don't want it accidentally slipping into safe. So let's go through the installation here. I'm going to first and foremost take the old safety off. So we move it to the fire position, and both sides work similarly. There is a spring-loaded detent in the middle, and of course it just pushes down. You need a fairly small punch to accomplish this because it has to move with the punch inside there. So we push that down, and then I'm pushing towards the bottom of the pistol grip at that point, and you can see the separation that's starting on the dovetail, and it just slides straight down and off, and there's that little detent. Okay? Installation is just the opposite. In this case, the L Selector, the lever goes towards the butt, of course, of the rifle. But I get it started on the dovetail. I move that detent out of the way, and it should slide up in until the detent comes into that hole, and that's what holds it into place. And then from there, this shows it on, for me being a right-hander, this shows it on the thumb side of the pistol grip. We're in the safe position. I have painted this one. They come with a little raised arrow, and of course I've painted it. It's a good indicator, especially for range officers and whatnot that may not be used to this shape of safety. In the fire position, of course, it comes straight up, and then there's the shelf for your thumb. Alright, I'll flip it over, and we'll do the other side. And it comes with the indicator. Of course, go to the fire position, push the detent, get it started, and then it slides off of the dovetail. On the right side of the firearm, the dovetail is a little different, but it's still a dovetail, but it's very small. And from that, you can get a little play in these with any tolerances within the machine work. But this one's a little trickier to get going, but same concept. You find that dovetail and then get that detent out of the way. And that one slipped on pretty quick, but the detent in the middle is what's holding it on, and you can see it's pretty tight on there. Again, fire position, there's a shelf. For me, with my trigger finger, the trigger finger is under the shelf itself, and so it's out of the way. It's not hanging down the pistol grip. This stop part on here is beveled down, so you don't even feel that. However, it's a nice indexing point to go up against, again, for that repeatable high grip. That's for me on the weak side, being right-handed, on the right side of the firearm. My trigger finger is under and not underneath the shelf, but the lever is not underneath my hand. Nice advantage. And then I'll show on the other side again for a right-hander. In the fire position, you would pull it down into fire and your thumb sits, much like in a 1911. Your thumb will sit on top. It forces your grip into a high, repeatable grip. You're in the same position each time. It flips on and off fairly easily, especially when you've got it shouldered. And that is the Percival Armaments L Selector.